must charge them also.
Issues at hand. Peter Kibazo, Honorable Robert Sebunya, and Mr. Bates Baguma. Mr. Bates Baguma is the Labor and Labor Relations Officer at UNATU.
Yes.
Honorable Sebunya is here in his capacity as chair of the Finance Committee of Parliament. They're the guys that scrutinize the figures and squeeze every bit of it that go and get more. Mr. Baguma.
Yes, please.
The gentleman that gave us the message as we were getting out is saying the last time you went on strike, it was about the SACCO's money. The government was sending through, I don't remember the medium in which they were sending it, and then you had issue. And he's saying now that government has addressed that, can't that ameliorate the pain for a while?
Actually, we have never been on strike for SACCO money. SACCO money has not reached the teachers. And we as a union, having been promised this money and having failed to access this money for the teachers, we wrote to the president and told him, we have never received this money. And as a result, we are either to meet you and tell you that the money you promised us never reached us, and if we cannot meet the president, we are withdrawing our demand of that SACCO money, because where it is, we don't know it, and we
What
don't
do you
know.
mean? That the money has been provided, but you're saying at the moment that because it is not in the office of UNATU,
Not UNATU.
I mean, it isn't
In the
being
office,
administered
in
by
the office of the Teachers SACCO's Cooperative Union.
What is the difference? Let me understand it. I'm sorry.
Yes, yes.
If I channeled that money through the Teachers SACCO Union, or
Yes.
Teachers SACCO's Union,
Yes.
or I channeled it through Microfinance Center,
Yes.
what would be the difference? The money would be delivered
Microfinance
to
support,
Chivazo.
Microfinance Support Center is charging Teachers SACCOs 11%.
Interesting.
And goes ahead to say no Teachers SACCO should charge more than 15%. Literally meaning Microfinance Support Center charges 11%, and the Teachers SACCOs charge 4%.
Should charge up to 4%.
Should charge up to 4%. And we are saying no.
What do you want to charge?
The spirit in which this money was given was actually to supplement the teachers' welfare. And therefore, if it is going up to 15%,
Per annum, per month?
of course, this will now be per annum. We are opposed to this, and we are saying, let this money go through the apex of teachers' circles in this country, so that teachers can access this money at a lower interest rate. And then they benefit from the money that was given to them. And that is the position.
And let me understand this. Isn't it really this is a power game?
It's not all about a power game. Because when the president pronounced himself on this money, the terms were very clear. And it is us who requested that let this money go through Ministry of Education and Sports, so that teachers' circles can access this money.
Ministry of Education's core function is not to manage money. They leave it to people that have expertise in that.
So why did it go through that ministry? That's why you should ask yourself.
The ministry just
because
sent it to where it is.
We requested that let this money go through the ministry.
Let me ask you, Mr. Baguma,
Yes.
without the other details.
Yes.
If that money is finally delivered to where you want it,
Yes.
would the 10% be soothed for a while?
Those are two different things.
That was the question of the viewer at that point. He was saying, you were given this. Can't you meanwhile be holding on to that?
Actually, right now as we talk, we are not.
Hold on.
We are
Viewers,
not.
you're able to call into the show. Our numbers are going to be displayed on the set, and please turn down the volume of your set as you call into the show and talk to us. Yes.
Right now, we are not talking about SACCO money because we sealed it. We made our position very clear. We wrote to the president, and the letter was received by the president's office. So we are waiting for the president to make clear his point about this money.
Okay, I'll hold you there. 0414 661742. 0414 661742. 414 661742. Call into the show. Honorable Sevunya,
Yeah.
we have two issues here.
Yeah.
We have money that was promised, that came and hasn't been delivered. And then you're telling the teachers, please be patient. But even what you are delivering, you're not delivering to them direct.
Yeah, I think I did not follow so much of the negotiation, but at the end of the day, we saw it that the
Okay,
government.
hold on, I have a caller online. Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Okay, it dropped, sorry.
Yeah, the government, okay, through the advice of the president, agreed to give some money to the teachers' circle, and I think that issue came up to Parliament. Where best should this money be placed?
Yes.
And I think Parliament came out to say there is a union which might not reach everybody, every teacher in Uganda. Whether they can reach every teacher, that is now them and now those who are saying it. So why don't we put this money in a medium microfinance support center which has branches in there that will not complain of the administrative costs of reaching the last mile, the teacher at the lowest level. And in the spirit, I thought maybe there's no harm, but as he says, that they found challenges with the interest being charged. But what the president, I think, also thought is that the salary increment will still not be sufficient for a teacher. And the only way is to give them some money through a revolving microfinance sort of setup that they may borrow as and when they feel pressed and then pay back in small installments. And I think that is not a bad idea. And I think they still have time to negotiate that out with the government and say, please, where you put the money is getting too expensive for us as teachers to access that money. 15% is still high. That is in the argument. But also, they must put in perspective what happens. Because whenever the money is given out, like the youth money was passed through even commercial banks. So it is like the modus operandi for government giving out money, it has to use institutions that they may have approved. I don't know why they chose Microfinance Support Center, whether it was a bid through a bid or something, and people
I'm told actually they put in a
participated. Or and the reason why they're not giving it
Let me try this
directly.
call. Hello? Hello? We seem to have an issue with that line.
Yes.
I'm sorry, viewers. We'll try again and again and again.
Okay. But what I was saying lastly is that I think they should build the confidence lines between government and them and the teachers. They call it the Teachers Circles Union. And who should be, because the institution they chose is an institution which can easily interface on a day-to-day basis with the teachers. Government has institutions. It cannot be the Ministry of Finance. It cannot be the Ministry of Education. It has to be an institution which, on a daily basis, is able to work on the finances with the teachers. So I think it is not a bad idea to have an institution, maybe credible in the government side, to control this money and hand it over to
Are we dealing with a frugal government? Because when you are in need, when you are squeezed for means, we should see the frugality in your expenditure.
Yes.
You have a government that has increased the State House and the President's Office budget fourfold.
Yes.
They have about 600 billion now on them, almost $1 trillion on them to spend. You have the Defense Ministry, whose budget is growing to be able to protect Sudan and Somalia. You have an Internal Affairs Ministry that is increasing the budget with the projected elections and a bit of activity around Besigye and Lukwago. So you are ballooning those budgets. And then we are saying, why don't we have the others? Why is it that it is only the classified accounts budgets that balloon? And when the walimu come to you, and by the way, I'm a teacher, when the walimu come
to you,
you say, please squeeze. We are squeezed for minutes.
You know what happens?
One of the viewers gives me an example, says, government is very interesting. Over the period, the media has been photographing cars and saying dumped at the Ministry of Health, dumped at Public Service, dumped at this and this and this. That is not a sign of frugality. You and I know that if you were in your family and you were telling everyone to buckle up, squeeze, we have squeezed means, and then they see daddy extending the belt further bigger and bigger. I mean, no one is
buying crates of beer and putting in the fridge. Okay, what happens is that there are some expenditures, like, let me say, this financial year, we are preparing for an election. Those expendables are almost like a one-off. It comes in a big way and it is done. It is not a perpetual expenditure that goes into the system and stays there. Like we had the census money. It almost went up to around 200 billion. And it came, we spend on it, and it is finished. For the next 10 years, we will not spend on it. There is, we have the security matters. Of course, I cannot say we don't need the security in Somalia. We don't need security in nearby. It is now Congo. There is Congo, there is Burundi now. Maybe we shall need a force in there, at least to protect ourselves from a distance. Those are government decisions. But what I'm saying, the teachers and salaries of our government employees are low. And everybody understands, yes. But once we increase these salaries, and once you increase the salaries of at least all, it will be in the budget for a lot, forever.
Honorable,
so you have increased the salary, you have increased your resources almost forever.
Let me inquire from you.
Yes.
How much money does a member of parliament earn? You are insisting on the money will be on the budget year in, year out.
Yes.
Do you get your pay once or it is continuous?
It is continuous like everybody
now,
else.
why do you talk about the teacher's salary or any other civil servant's salary and you forget that you are also getting a salary?
We do.
If you talk of elections, are teachers voters?
Yes.
Do you have teachers in your constituency?
Yes.
Do you have parents in your constituency?
Yes.
Do you have learners in your constituency?
Everybody is in
Let them watch you.
No.
And mark your word.
No, that is
no.
not
Let them watch him
please,
and mind
please.
his words.
No.
Because
If you go that side,
here.
no,
You
if
can't sit here.
No.
You can't
I
sit
think
here
I should be protected.
and
Mr.
start
Baguma,
That's not the level of debate we want.
inciting the people.
You see,
No, that's not the level of
this
debate we want.
discussion
Yes.
gives you.
Yes.
And the reason I asked him
Yes.
and not the minister
Yes.
is to give you
I'm
the
not the
status
minister
as at
of-
parliament. and
Don't
enrollment.
talk about teachers' salary
We'll
as
take the
if you
break.
don't earn a salary.
No, that's not what the level of debate we
No.
want.
You are talking about